Hey Sam,
You're
what's
looking
up?
nice.
What's up?
Guess what?
I have been quarantined
Why?
because one of my fellow office people, a person, he got COVID positive.
Damn, in Hooghly.
Dude, Hubli is no joke. I'm telling you, it's like, and yesterday itself this happened, and decided that I'm not going to go because been really tired. I've decided to take a break. And then I got the news in the evening. Mom's like, don't you dare come out of the freaking room. Stay there. तेरे को जो खाना चाहिए भिजवा देंगे. Don't come out. I was like, yes, yes. Yeah, Bombay is worse. What are you saying, Sam? Bombay is
Bombay is what?
for COVID. It's insane.
हाँ वो तो है ही
What's the
नंबर
same?
वन कुछ नहीं बॉम्बे में बहुत लोग हैं
Yeah?
बॉम्बे में इतने लोग हैं कि even if there's 1 million cases in Bombay there will be still so many people who will have not met those 1 million people 100%.
Oh, yeah.
There'll be a bigger number of people not in touch with the people that are existingly in COVID. Never really cared about the number of followers because that was never the reason why I started putting my work on Instagram. My reason for putting work on Instagram was purely that if I feel I have uploaded something, then the next day it has to be better. It has to constantly keep getting better. So it's like a personal motivation rather than trying to get people to like my stuff or follow my stuff or I barely even go through stats or insights how Instagram likes to show you. I barely go through those.
Sure. Your own competition.
Yeah, that's always the healthiest way to go about it because you can also assess and criticize at the same time. And I think that helps you. But there are times to do those things. Like, I think you can't really criticize yourself or critique yourself while you're doing something. You're always supposed to do it later. And because if you start doing it in the middle of a process, then you're just going to get stuck and it's not going to get you anywhere. You see it later. So for me, that later is after I have made something and I'm really happy with it, and then I post it on Instagram. Done. Now I know that after this, my bar is this. I need to go 2% higher. Just 2% is fine because I push out a lot of content.
You keep a lot of actually no expectations of yours.
Low.
Low, low, but there is. Have like
I
an
mean, there's self-satisfaction that needs to happen. Now, not sure if that would come under low expectations, but I would come under. I mean, if someone has to have an outcome of something and then go for it, then probably there's expectations. But I don't really keep any expectations at all because my process is what drives what the outcome is, and not the other way around.
Okay.
Just like we were talking, Shishti.
Dude, Shishti was pretty open-ended. Okay.
Yeah, which was amazing.
Fuck you wanna think? It is. And that's what I loved about it.
My last project literally proved that.
I
I
mean, yeah,
literally,
positively, yeah.
I mean,
What can you
dude,
say?
they told me you're making some things on your bag, and I was like, yeah, I'm making this. They're like, why are you making it? I was like, I don't know. They're like, interesting.
Dude, that's how you've gotten the idea also of like just that just freaking like draw everywhere. But this reminds
Yeah.
me of an artist, a doodle. I don't know, is
So
he?
there's two.
Isn't he doodle something?
There's
What's
two people who do this. One
oh
is the Mr. Doodle guy who doodles over everything.
yes.
One style I'm also pretty compared to is Keith Haring's style
Oh, okay.
because
What's
it's pretty bold, finite lines and stuff like my charger. So
oh. Is your laptop
yeah,
also
so
kind
that
of
kind of stuff is more,
like all right?
no, my laptop has only one sticker on it.
That's yours.
And it's Anirudh's.
Oh, dude, I have your sticker.
Yeah,
I allegedly
which
have.
one?
Oh,
Damn.
the hand one. I cannot lift
Whoa,
the thing, but
I remember it. I remember it.
you remember it now? You
Yeah,
gave
it's
like
one of
oh,
the wavy hands
I
with like lines
just
around it.
yeah,
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 fully.
I still have it here. I
That's
just have it.
that's so long ago. I think like 4 years.
Yeah, it's like your
Damn,
stickers. It's like ways.
damn. Yeah, I used
एक
to make fun stickers.
आ गया एक था भी वहीं पे चिपका दिया परमानेंट जगह है
I'll
कोई
send you.
देखेगा
Send me your address. I'll send a new pack.
प्लीज डू
Yeah,
प्लीज
cool.
पूछने की बात है क्या ये?
Who was address based?
नहीं नहीं मैं तेरे को लिख देता है चलना अभी
इस पे मत ले मुझे कॉपी पेस्ट करके कहीं डालना पड़ेगा.
wow isn't that a lot of work
Let me make a folder for my mailing list.
I will get
Cool. By the way, I don't know if you know, I used to have an activity that I used to do that was called Raw, and I
raw
used to, yeah, Raw. I used to ask random people to send me their addresses, and I would send them a original piece of work, even if I didn't know them or had a conversation with them ever. I would just
man
have them, yeah, that was pretty fun, and a lot of people got it. I think like some 7 to 8 people I have sent my stuff to, and I didn't know who they were. Not always knew who which one was.
was that the motto behind or like you just want to send strangers your stuff
Motto was that if someone really likes my shit and has taken the effort to send a message with their address to receive something, that's enough liking of my stuff back then for me to be inspired to give them something.
is
And
is
yeah.
this one of your creative ways of reaching out to audience or people
Not reaching out, but probably sharing the love. Because for me, it's like I can draw 700 things if I want to. But if someone really, really likes something, I give it to them immediately. Like, I think maybe you also at some point must have had this where you really like something of mine and I was sitting right there. And you were like, bro, I really like this. And I was like, just have it then. Because I can sit and create it whenever I feel like. So the value is more when it is with someone who values it more. That's what I think.
that's true that's true okay I have this interesting question what how would you state okay what do you think identity is
Identity is simple. It's who you are.
and who what how would you state yourself
I am a creator and
uh-huh
I'm an experimentalist. Made
Exper-
my own way. I don't know
I,
what people who experiment are called. What are they called? Experimentor. I don't know.
I think everyone is
Yeah, but that's
No?
me. Maybe. They may be, they may not be. Some people like to do office jobs, and I don't think that's experimenting really.
Define office job for me. Like, why would you say office job?
Like
Because
if
that
someone's at a clerk, someone's at a banking kind of situation. Hmm?
office is what? Office is something that is repetitive, that is close and closed, that is
In my head, it's almost a job a robot can do, but we just haven't done that yet because we're trying to run behind employment. Any job that can be replaced by a robot is an office clerk one job.
okay, fair enough.
That's
But
what my
do you think everyone who's going to the office actually is a robot?
no, maybe like some fields might not be so. Like sales is always not like an office job because sales has the human element of why someone will buy from you versus someone else. Those places are the kind of places where it gets different and it shows in how the company does. But if it's like someone who's just filling in data or like banking and stuff, like how far are you really going? Like how much are you really experimenting?
That's the first step. That's the first step. Like, yeah, the first step. But I'm saying, okay, other than sales, do you think creativity is not used over there?
At what? At an office?
Yeah, an office.
Depends, man. Like I don't know. For me, I'm not so exposed, but I just know that my mom does a sales job at a chemical company, and I've seen her do that for a long, long, long time. And for me, even when I was like in first grade, I used to tell her just this, like, "Yo, man, you're just sitting on calls, you're just doing meetings. You're not really, really doing anything. You know what? You go to school someday, do some things, and I go to office calls. Like, how hard could it be? Yes, protocols. Okay.
What
So
did
for
she
me, the idea,
say? What did she say to that?
she was like, yeah, for sure. I would really love to go to school again. No, man. She knows her job is not as exciting, but she likes it, so it's good. Like she enjoys her role because she's a boss. So it works.
So you're saying everyone, if they love their job, be it whatever, be it office work or be it creative work, is okay. It's fine.
Whatever you want to do, man. That's your identity.
Because I'm asking you this is simply because I have observed this. See, I come from very creative again, very creative design thinking, and all of that, and then I'm completely shifted to this environment. Correct? And then you start observing of how people actually really work and why they do what they do, and that kind of completely changes what I thought. And the fact that they also have a certain kind of myth or stereotype against the people who are on this side is insane.
It's
But it's an
that
interesting contrast, dude. Like, um it's not like it's kind of monotonous, but it depends on you whether you want to keep it monotonous or not. What?
how far one takes it is always dependent on them. Like I think when I was a kid, I had heard someone say that every field has their best and their worst, and the middlemen. Middlemen in any field are none. Are none.
Okay, I have to agree to you on this for sure, dude.
It's that.
I don't want to be that.
Nobody wants to be a middleman.
Stress is a
But
fuck.
there are a lot of middlemen that need to be there to create the high and the low. That's something that I added to it.
Oh, yeah. Now that's an interesting.
If everyone went high, then there would be no middle. You
No,
need to have middlemen to push high and low.
there's always the black and white, right? And
Of
gray.
course. Of course. I
That's good.
mean, it's like like jobs that really service the industry, and that I think in COVID you could see it. Like what was really essential was super clear. Was super clear. The clerk jobs like a postman, essential as fuck. Amazon deliveries, Swiggy deliveries, these people, healthcare officials, these people are running the shit. If this wasn't there, then all of your activities that you are now like easily sitting at home and doing and now seeing would have been not available to you. And that would be ridiculous. It was so ridiculous that there was a pandemic and they had to still work.
Yeah,
So
but
now we have.
what would you have done if there was no one like to attend, man? Like, come on. Okay, so you, yeah.
I agree, but when you ask me how much are they experimenting, how much is an Amazon delivery guy experimenting with? Maybe he's going at
Job
62
there.
plus speed.
I'm sure with different kind of jobs.
हाँ करते होंगे, but I'm saying how much can you as a person really experiment within a
Depends
job
on the
restriction?
depends on the person for sure. As you said. As you said.
Yeah,
How would you define your job right now? Do you even call it a job?
I am running multiple jobs.
Do you think it's good to do that or it depends again? Because I think I would also be at ease if I have way too many things in hand and not just one single thing.
Yeah, one thing bores me. It's pretty monotonous, so I prefer having like multiple jobs always at hand because it always lets me leap into different ideas and dwell in them when I get bored with one.
But
It helps me take a.
they like, you always have to concentrate on one thing and only then it's like worth pursuing. No.
No, I have no, not really. Like there have been
I
times
used to
where
hear
I've.
this a lot as a kid also. Like, stick to one thing, stick to one thing. Always stick to one
Oh,
thing. I completely disagree to that theory that
yeah,
you
yeah,
said.
yeah. You can choose to stick to one thing. For me, that one thing is my laptop, and my laptop has infinite possibilities. So as long as my mom and dad are seeing me on a laptop, I stuck to one thing.
Dude, oh my God. Dude, yeah. Because
Think
I
about it.
have I have my I have my dad keep telling me that, oh my God, you're always on the laptop. But I'm just like, you know how many number of things this one particular system can do? Insane. N number of
Mm.
things. And the list is long. I don't have time to explain that to you.
Yeah.
But it does. It sure is going somewhere. I know
You
that.
should probably come back to him and tell him, yo, man, you told me to stick to one thing. Boom, I found it.
Laptop. Hmm.
It's in a way.
क्या?
Make them laugh about a situation and tell them, fuck her off.
Tried that in different ways. Different ways. But yeah. What's the best part about your process? Or what do you do? The best part.
The creative freedom.
Mhm.
I strive for it personally. I personally, even if I get good money, I throw it because I don't want to do anything that is slightly stepping on my creative field. And that is something I take a lot of pride in, and all of my process needs to have it. So I enjoy that part the most, because be making a poster, or be it making an album art, or be it making a simple logo for someone, if it's not done with my creative freedom, I know I'm not going to be giving the 100%. So when I have that, I enjoy the possibility of taking someone's trust on edge because they have to trust my vision with it, and that's kind of tricky for them always. But that's the fun part for me, where I know that I have a sense of responsibility to deliver something that I know will be great for me and for them as well.
Do you think this creative process or like the process of yours is only applicable to the work or you in general?
That's me in general. I honestly cannot have anyone tell me what to do a certain way unless I really feel that way about it too. They can convince me and I might get convinced, but till I am not feeling 100% about something, I don't do it. Be it meeting my friends every night. Like, I don't meet my friends every night. I meet them once in 3, 4 days. They all live like 2 minutes from my house. They meet every day. But the reason I don't meet is because till I don't feel every bit of my body going like, yes, let's go, I will not do it. So it even like bleeds out to those kind of things, which is social factors, anything else.
Hmm. And you, who you are as a person. I think that really needs to reflect in everything you do, I think. Be it,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's, I think, how you will get closer to what you really want to be. I think you can lie a lot and try to be a lot, but when you're deep down truthful to yourself, then you can really see what you really want and act that way. For me, like, the motto comes from the saying that the Buddhist saying that true enlightenment is achieving the right thought, the right word, and the right action. When these three things are aligned in the same way, that is reaching true enlightenment, and that is my motto, and I like to follow that.
Were you always like this?
I was inspired of that since my seventh grade, but I lied a lot for a lot part of my life, and was had a lot of stress for no reason about these stupid lies and stupid behavior. And I think at a point in Shishti, uh, specifically my third year, is when everything changed.
I think when I saw that nirvana behind you.
Of course, you came to my house, that new house, and that was the start of it for your this thing when you were graduating.
Uh,
Remember that?
it's like what, 4 years now?
No, it's just 2 years.
3 years? But
2 years.
are you serious? 2 years? It seems like 20 years for me. Like
Oh
that.
no, 3 years.
The
My bad.
fuck? Two
3 years.
years is too. Yeah, 3 years.
2 years. I was starting fourth year now. Dude, I completely have skipped this whole year because of Corona. This year doesn't exist.
2020 doesn't exist.
What were you doing in 2020? I don't know.
That's true.
2020 was not a day. It was one. It was not a year. It was one day. It was, all of it was one day.
Why one
This,
day?
because it's the same thing. You're doing the same thing. There's nothing different. There are no events. There are no places you're going to.
Dude,
This is
I just miss going to movies and fucking having popcorn. Like just
like
the
anything as basic as that, dude.
simple, huh?
As simple or basic as that is gone away.
Yeah.
Gone away.
Imagine. I just want to go and like chill and have a fucking cup of coffee with a friend. No.
Impossible.
What
Impossible.
the fuck, dude? I'm just thinking.
2020 was like, try me.
But I'm serious. I've just been going circles. Like,
There was a time in my COVID experience that I was having literally the same schedule every single day to the minute. Every single day, I would wake up at the same minute, text my friend coffee. He would come down same time, make coffee. We would, we would chill for like morning, and then I would get to work, and then the evening, three friends would come, coffee, every day, the same thing. And I was like, it was almost like a month and a half stretch. I was like, dude, what? I'm living in like some TV show which is paused. It's ridiculous. I was like stuck on that. It was so bad.
I hope it ends soon, man.
Yeah,
बट
it's
नहीं होने
nice.
वाला है इसको और 2 साल लगेगा सर
Nice.
fuck
See,
now
I should also not be the person saying all this because in through the COVID, I've done so much. I have tried to figure so many things. I've gone places. We did a full-on party in a house that we have, like a new fresh house that we got in Jan. We fully did a Zoom party, pineapples party. I don't know if you know
that
about.
was this year only na?
Bro, that was in June or something. Yeah,
Yeah, so you have done shit bitch
we've done a lot, bro.
yeah
Um, yeah, and I mean, the last weekend we went to this place called Forest Hills in Tala or Tadak. Um, and this is um, what is this? It's like a resort kind of situation where there are like it can hold a lot of people, and we're just like some 12 to 15 of us, and we took all the pineapple sound system and we partied for 2 days, and it was beautiful. It was crazy. Like I have not experienced that in the last 6 months, so that was more crazy because you had all the friends that you want. Somebody came from Chandigarh to Mumbai so that he could come to party with us to Tara. That happened.
wow
So I mean, I've done a lot through this COVID time. It's ridiculous.
I was thinking that you've done a lot of course physically going places and all but I thought like the way in was also one of the consequences to everybody being stuck at home.
I guess. I mean, I've heard that from a lot of people, for sure. That the more they stopped going out, the more they went in.
But I think मेरा कोविड के पहले ही शुरू हो गया था
You
इसलिए
know,
के बाद आया था कोविड
that's what happened.
then they kind of
I
eased
started,
out going out
yeah,
oh you
बहुत
also
पहले चालू किया था, तो
बहुत
अभी
पहले
ठीक है.
चालू हो गया
हाँ, अभी ठीक चल रहा है.
था
It's all good.
appreciate that I appreciate you saying that because I can relate then I, not all of them were good times for sure
Of course. I mean, yeah, I mean, there were tough times to realize tough things about you which you didn't know, which you found out. What you are. I mean, again, like for me, the one whack that I need to realize what is only one question: what is true?
what
And the fact that you can never lie to yourself.
okay okay but would you
That's the best.
entirely know who you are
If I ask myself a question, I will know exactly what it is.
have you
Yeah, every time I ask myself a question about something I don't know
you get the same
or
answer
haven't feel, hmm?
you get the same answer
Not same answer, but I'll know my answer for that moment. What is true? It's like, are you hungry? That is something that I changed. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you know about this. I
I don't know a lot of things so yeah Sam
Stop giving me hate and all that. Like
I'm not
yeah, okay, cool. So in the last 6 months, I have completely left my want of eating.
last month
Want aspect. Last 6 months.
last 6 months of want
The want of eating.
of eating could you elaborate a little? on this?
Yeah. So basically, I was just feeling really bloated and I would feel sleepy after a lot of meals. So I was like, okay, cool. Let me just apply the same thing that I apply to everything here, which is let me ask my body for a change instead of my mind that, hey, bro, do you want to eat right now? I was like, I do. Okay, do you need to eat right now? Hmm, maybe not. So then I would be like, no, fuck it. Don't need that shit. So I cut down all the junk. I cut down all the bullshit eating. I cut down all the midnight snacking. I used to call at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 5 a.m. Chinese I've ordered at 5 a.m. But all of that I've cut down since the last 6 months. And I've come to a point where I only eat twice a day. Only when I really, really need it. And when I'm really, really hungry and my body wants some food in there. Otherwise, it's all good. Like, just keep running. And that has given me a newfound sense of clarity in my head because my head is freer. It's not just always processing food. My body is not always busy churning some shit or the other. It's like it's got more things to do. And that has given me more clarity of space in my mind to do more, to feel more.
Dude, what are you saying right now? I actually did the same thing. I just eat one meal and then in the night बहुत थक गई हूँ तो थोड़ा कुछ खा लूंगी जो भी है and that's it.
Yeah.
वरना it was just overeating, okay? And then in the night you're just like, fuck. You can't
Yeah.
fucking turn, okay? And you just say, what
What
the fuck is wrong with you, man? Why do you have to fucking stuff yourself all the fucking time? क्या खा
is
खा कर क्या खाएगी तू?
like क्या कर रही है तू ये हो क्या रहा है like भागा के बस बैठ गए what did you just do
Can't do anything, huh? And I'm just like,
yeah
okay, this used to happen when I used to come home, eat for like have lunch, and then just lie down and just that's it. You're gone. Dude, कभी कभी मैं सो के 5 बजे उठी हूँ and dad is like, what the fuck, where you right now? I'm like, oh shit. I'm in the fucking room sleeping because I fucking had like that much. And then I was
yeah
like,
so
fuck this shit. Anyways,
yeah
because of
man.
COVID, I'm not able to come here at home. So I'm just pack me something that would make me run the whole day.
Yeah, and if you're not doing so much of physical activity your body doesn't need it.
Then you're just like so freaking like at least awake, a little
Yeah,
awake,
body is allowed to do more things
more
कि
things.
भाई ये तो खत्म हो गया है सिस्टम अब कुछ और करें क्या like
Dude, see, I've seen some of my worst lifestyle in college, okay? When I was in
yeah
like the worst. That phase that I had that I can never go back
uh,
to. What if I try to find something else that is even more higher than this?
damn
So I stopped. And after that, I don't know what happened. Um, I think I went way below, way fucking below, and completely like what just started a big fucking question on my face. My dad भी बोला, he's like, like you are depressed, right? I'm like, oh fuck. But there was a lot of awakening also during that time.
of
Um,
course you're getting out of it then
like a whole fucking क्या बोलते हैं rehab or rehabilitation or rebuilding of your whole freaking body and your mind and your fucking soul, man.
Miran, I want to ask you a question. At what stage did you feel that, or do you right now feel that, if at what stage could someone come in and tell you that?
What do you mean? What? Tell me what?
When you were going through all of this without knowing what you were going through, what
I
at what
was,
stage,
but then I didn't know how deep it was, like how deep I'd gone. You know what I mean? Like
how
you don't know the depth of it.
how would it help you Like in a way that if you can think now that, oh, someone could have done this and that could have probably helped me a lot, what would be that one thing?
during that phase,
Yeah.
there is no getting out. I think
No, that's okay. Of course, there's no getting out, but is there something that could have triggered the awakening that, as you said, is there something that someone could have done to probably trigger that awakening?
I mean positive or negative? Positively or
Positive.
negative? Positively.
Yeah.
Someone or something that actually triggered me to,
Basically, the point for me to ask this is that if someone is seeing their friend go into a spot and
yeah.
they don't know how to approach that, would you, out of your personal experience, be able to tell if there is a possible way for someone to reach out to their friend in this kind of spot?
It is very difficult
It is very difficult.
because I've been in that situation.
Is it just very personal, so it has to be done something that is a personal awakening?
I think we all have to go through it, and whether you like it or not, it's as simple as this. You can only help yourself.
That is
Own it.
something I completely agree with, which is something I completely abide by. Which is, bro, by the end of it, you're gonna be sleeping with yourself, mate. Like you, your head, that's it. That's it. It ends right there.
तू कुछ भी कर ले ठीक है ना चाहे दोस्त हो या तेरा I mean even if it's a wife or a freaking close even if it's your dad there is no fucking way for that person to get out until and unless that person really fucking at least realizes that there's something that has to you know be done and the other thing is to actually take I think going deeper into it is the only way out. I don't know. I think so. You have to open up the layers for yourself. Uh,
Otherwise,
Otherwise,
parent,
it's just going to come again. I think it's just again going to you're going to face that again. If
yeah,
you're
if you don't,
going through that, deal with it and see what you get out of it and question why what is happening to you and then but it's very difficult it is very difficult to think all of this during that situation now
I
so
mean,
you
not easy for everyone because everyone is not really like well trained to talk to themselves in a certain way
so but
or
there
understand.
are ways to do that there are ways to do that
Yeah,
there's so
which
many ways to do that
mm,
and I think
everybody
my
has their
way
own.
what
I think everybody has their own alchemy of how they want to do their bits, and that might require some time. That might require some different kind of things. Um, but as long as it comes out in a way that it gets the best out of the other person, then it's great.
but there has to be a shift now you can't keep going back there has
Okay,
to be a shift like
okay.
निकल गया ना वापस मत जा see there is a certain level that you can go for any person okay but you can't start breaking yourself please realize that this is for everyone and this is fucking very important and breaking yourself meaning even if you're trying to build be it your fucking family or be it anyone else close to you you cannot I mean
It comes from a very simple is if you are trying to help something, but you haven't really helped yourself, then you're helping nothing. तू पहले खुद को कर because if
संभाल
you
खुद को
your hands are tainted, if you are incomplete, then whatever you're gonna go do further is always gonna be incomplete. तो पहले खुद का देखो because that's the best way to actually serve others.
because you're already struggling with yourself and then you're struggling with other person's shit man And then there's so
Yeah,
many other things to fucking do. See, you're not playing fucking one role. You know you have multiple roles, and then you have yourself.
yeah.
Like you,
Okay.
how
Of
many
course.
fucking? I've realized that. I'm just like, have you ever realized the switch from one personality to the other, like of yourself? Like for example, you're like, yeah. To give you an example, suppose, of course, तू मॉम के साथ बात कर रहा है या तो डैड के साथ बात कर रहा है तो किसी और के साथ बात कर रहा है, ठीक है, फोन रख दिया, उसके बाद तू अपने साथ, you feel centered, dude.
Of
You just
course.
go to some space and then you come back. Then you go talk to this person and then you come back.
I think like recently in all the Zoom parties, we have faced the same thing. Everybody's at a party, birthday, happy birthday, yay, woo, this is happening. They shut and they see themselves and like, you were sitting drinking alone. Oh, this is what happened. So I was with my girlfriend, and this is one night before we were going out to the festival situation, and I saw a glass of wine, and I was like, "Fats, my girlfriend's having a glass of wine." And I was like, "Cool, let me have a glass of wine with you." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, cool." Had a glass of wine, we just chill, like we had a nice date, and and then I kept the wine down, and I shut my laptop, and I was like, "Whoa, this is the first time in my life I have sat in a room alone and had a drink, which was last week. Till my like I have never had a drink, a sip of a drink alone in my house ever. Never.
Was that a celebration or was it a feeling of isolation?
That was a feeling of what the fuck just happened here. It was a celebration in the past moment, but in that present moment, it was shit. This is something I never
Got
would have
real,
done if
real quick, na? You just got real quick.
like how did I pick up a glass of wine, have it by myself? I did have it by myself, even though I had someone on the other side of the screen, but it's still the screen. There is nothing around me. Like there is no person. This is an alone house with nobody. It's crazy. That was like the craziest thing because I take pride in saying that I have never drunk alone in my life, and now I can't say that.
Maybe I've read this somewhere, I've heard about it. गांजा जो तेरे को हाई देता है, ठीक है, वो तू बिना गांजे के भी हाई हो सकता है.
Everything, even DMT.
हाँ, तो उस लेवल तक जा सकते हैं लोग, हम, everyone, if done right with the process. But that's something I want to experiment and experience.
So I'll tell you what the argument to this is.
Okay.
The argument to this is okay, you can always sit and have someone draw up every architecture sheet, or you can make AutoCAD and have a 3D software that you can design better in. What is a faster process to reach the end result?
Drawing it
So,
by itself is faster, right, than me.
no, because if you're going to build a building,
Okay.
see, you're gonna create a building tomorrow.
It's how
Do you
fast.
remember how fast do you want it? How fast, easily available do you want it? Now the same thing it is. If it is
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want to for the 11 days and
No,
700
it's
hours.
not that. Said it's like
No,
that.
I'm telling you. So I'll tell you what this is. So if you see Russell Brand has talked about this on Joe Rogan. Some other people have also talked about the same thing, which is like, see, bro, there are ways to reach DMT level in you, which is not requiring of any drug, which people do in, like, there are great babas, pandits who do this and reach that state. But it comes after a really long time of practice. You can either do that, which is also a possibility. That's one path. The other path is, I have created this, which is going to get you there. Instead of taking the steps, I'm going to put you in a rocket ship. Choose
No,
your path.
no, Sam, that's not the thing. I disagree because I'll tell you why. Uh, I think the intensity with how you practice or whatever, I think will get you faster to that. And there have been cases where even there have been people who have died searching for this or wanting to experience this, and there are people who are unaware of it, but they followed whatever the steps and did it so intensely that they got it way faster than those people.
Of course. There are best people in the same league, and then there are middlemen.
It's shut the fuck up. It's how bad you want it at the end. I
Yeah,
think it's
this is, some people might be able to strive for it way faster, harder, if they really, really, really go crazy. How do I get my zone? Which I realized after a lot of podcasts and a practice that I've been doing for the past 2.5 years, which is I microdose on sleep.
on Steam.
On sleep.
Oh,
To keep
sorry, kids. I tell you, I got six.
wicks.
That was
Like,
Steam.
wicks on bread.
I thought I was like, I'll start Steam.
No, we back. No, COVID, stay away. Microdosing on Steam.
As I talk about faster ways of getting there, I actually got hooked to one right now.
Fastest way to get there.
Sorry, you were saying this is ridiculous. I'm
I
just
think
laughing.
I like to microdose on sleep. And what I did not realize what I was doing was basically keeping your brain in the fluid state of itself is very important for a creative process, because what that does is that when you're basically aware and very conscious, your brain, apart from its creative side, is also focusing a lot on information taking, information handling, which is like a very admin job for your brain, which is, oh, is my body balanced? Okay. Oh, my finger is touching the table, so that information needs to come in place. Oh, my eyes have seen this. My ears are hearing. When the brain is shut off at a sleep speed, it has the time to explore more into weird concepts. Like, I'll give you an example of a dream I had recently, which is one of my favorite dreams. I had seen someone's really long nose on Instagram. Like, it was a really weird image, and the person looked like he had a long nose. Now, that came in my dream, and what happened was that my brain stitched every person I know who's had a long nose together, like one after the other. I was seeing a photo reel of people with long noses. I was like, dude, at no point in my real daytime I can ever think about it and like see a full visual. Like, that's impossible. Like, you can never achieve that in regular daytime. And that's what I love doing is, like, I take 8-minute naps, I take 7-minute naps, and I will just pass out for a bit and keep my fluidity of my brain on, and then I get back to my work. And almost always it puts me in a zone where I can figure something out. Or if I'm stuck at something, I just like to relax and like think about it before I even get to work, because that allows my brain to rewire the things the way it needs to be, or maybe try in a different angle and get there faster. It helps me.
This is during the sleep or before you're about to sleep or
It's a
uh,
very strange. It's, you never know, but I have a example for that too. It's like, imagine you woke up in a house in a forest
uh-huh.
and you just started walking, right? But you're walking in one direction. You're not walking in lefts and rights. There are no curves. You're walking in the forest. You're walking straight up.
Yeah.
Now, if you are told to walk for a certain amount of time on your stopwatch, you're gonna keep going, but don't look left, don't look right, don't look anything. Just keep walking straight. Now you'll have a rough sense of idea of yes, my house is there because I was walking straight. But only after the 8 minutes, when you look back, you'll realize how far you went from the house. Your mind, without a first reference of how far you are, will not be able to imagine how small the house became, which you will only realize after you have done the 8 minutes walk. Then you get to see, oh, that's how far I am. And
See, wait, what?
often what happens,
Wait,
often what happens because,
I'm kind of lost. Like, wait, you're saying is that we realize that the house is getting smaller only after a
yeah,
certain distance or certain time.
no, in your head, you know that the house is probably getting smaller as you walk farther away from it, right?
Yeah,
But you
you
don't know
wouldn't
the
know how
exact
much.
size.
Yeah,
You don't know that
yeah,
exact size will only make sense the moment you have crossed that time limit. Now, for me, that time limit is 8 minutes. Now, every time I sleep for 8 minutes, I have a some sense of idea of course, I'm not gonna pass the fuck out, but the moment 8 minutes done, I'm just like, wait 1 minute. I started off somewhere else completely, and this same 8 minutes feels like half an hour sometimes. It sometimes feels like 2 hours. Sometimes it feels like 2 minutes. But that keeps varying because of time and space fluidity. It's never fully 100% sure.
do you keep an alarm for this? Like 8 minutes?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I tell, hey Siri, just put my alarm for 8 minutes.
Dude, this reminds me of 1111.
Yeah.
The concept
Okay.
of numerology was started or was actually put into my head by you.
Oh shit. From your wallet.
Yeah,
I remember.
yeah. And I got obsessed with it. I got fucking obsessed. Like, it's
Put
just like,
alarms on 11:10 to see 11:11.
dude, it was insane. After you realize, okay, maybe कभी कभी subconsciously हो जाता है because you've been thinking a lot about it and you only see that. But this happened. Sleep. When you talk about sleep, I used to get up at 3:30 to 3:45 every day. Even if I've slept at 1, I get up at 3:30 or 3:45.
Nice. Nice.
That's a good thing. I know that's a good thing, but now I don't know what do you do with that. Like I have ignored this a lot many times. I was like 5:30, yeah, 3:30, yeah, 4 o'clock, yeah, 4:30. When you wake up, I I think that's the best time of the hour to fucking blow your mind. No?
Every time, first 1 hour of whenever you have woken up is the best time to blow it up. I don't agree that there's a certain time. The certain
No.
time is the moment you wake up, the first 1 hour of you waking up, do the best thing you can. I go to my laptop straight. I wake up and sit on my desk
It's
straight up.
I agree with you for this because um I understood that whenever you wake up,
Hmm.
you have to do the thing that's the most important for you. Forget fucking exercising, forget fucking meditating, forget fucking nana, forget brushing.
Get
You have
real.
you have to get up and do the most important thing,
Bang on.
and then you can do whatever
Your
the fuck you want to do.
then your day will sort it out.
Yeah.
Bro,
So
that's exactly. Now try to see why I like to be in a state of sleep all day. Because every time my brain is juiced out, I want to refresh. But I can't pass out for hours. I don't even need it. I only need that 8 minute sense of sleep to give my brain little fluidity to take the edge off and do the thing I really want to do.
But 8 minutes is your thing. 8 minutes is something that you
Some
have.
people do 20 minutes, some people do 15 minutes.
So that depends on person to person. I think it's like this sleep cycles, right? A
Yeah,
lot of
it depends on
people have done this before, and there is
some
something like
people
this.
need 4 hours to sleep generally. Some people need 5 hours to sleep generally. Some people actually need 12 hours to sleep every day. But that depends on you. You have to be asking your body what is okay.
Mm. When do you actually like know that you're fucking drained and you want to sleep now?
That you are drained and you want to pass out. For me, it's when I am doing this on my table. I'm fully juiced out and I'm like, oh fuck, oh no. When my head has reached, oh fuck,
If
that
full
is
like,
you.
yeah.
Like the other day, I came home from Tada and I was here. I met my friends. I came back home and I passed out on the bed with on my mom's bed with my bag on and everything. And still, I came home. I put my laptop out. I sat on my desk and I was like, no, I have some energy. I'll figure out something. And I sat here and then I passed out here for 2.5 hours on my desk. And I was like, oh, fuck. No, this is not happening. I have to go.
I think you
So
just you acted way too smart on that. But yeah.
you have to constantly ask your body, how much can you really do? It's just always constant questioning and constant being truthful to what you really want to do, what you really want to allow yourself to do.
So I think this really asks each one of us to really experiment and try something that it could be whatever. It could be related to food, or it could be related to sleep, or it could be related to the environment you're working in, or the kind of vibe you want to go with.
Yeah.
Because, like, maybe some people like chaos and they can work really better with that, or some people really need some fucking peace and quiet time and they can only work for 15 minutes or 20 minutes straight.
You should know that your system is dynamic. Your system is not made to be a robot. If you were supposed to be a robot, you would be a robot. You're not.
No, so I agree with you, but I'm just saying that these gurus, see, I'm not pinpointing everyone, but I'm saying this self-help things that we look around nowadays is so much so that you would probably end your life trying them all out without even studying yourself कि भाई पहली बात कि तू कर सकता है दूसरी बात तेरे में can you even adapt.
Yeah. Self help, but who is self, motherfucker?
Yeah,
Who
but
are you? Who are you? Who is the self in the self help? You need to know that.
some days I realize after really like trying hard to like fucking give me something and it it just doesn't work. Okay, it just
That
does
doesn't
not
work that
work.
way. It does not work that way.
It does, it might just come under that bracket, but again there is a lot, there's so much available. I think you really need to filter it out there for
I,
yourself.
I think self help books should be changed name to What Helped Me books. As a biography, when you look at those, that what helped that particular person get through what they were going through that way, it's understood. Then another person can really understand that, hey, it still might be for someone else. Every rule here does not apply to me. And that's what needs to be understood about self-help books. Some things are great that might work for a lot of people, but it might not always be that. Like, that's why I feel the name should be changed to What Helped Me. It allows everyone to detach from that. It's not everyone's self-help that every self-help book is for everyone's self. No, it's not. It can't be.
That's true because I hate people like saying you do this and you're gonna fucking increase your productivity with so and so, and I'm just like, nah, man. I mean, just like, see, simple logic. Eh? Why do you think there is personal trainers? Because they need to know what your fucking body needs.
Then they understand you, and then they start applying rules that apply to you. For that self help, you need the first thing, self, and then you need help. You can't
So understand
jump.
the self and then
Yeah,
uh, go and uh,
yeah.
lie these or experiment. I'm serious, yeah. See, I know it. See, the thing is, I know it sounds like stupidly simple, okay?
I know, but it's not. But the
But
funniest thing, I've seen so many people fall in this trap,
I've
man.
seen myself fall in it. Seen myself fall, maybe not like, physical workout and all of that, because, okay, maybe I know a little bit about sportsmen and I know how my body works because I've seen it transition. होता है उसका बहुत ऊपर नीचे गया है, but whatever. But I'm saying this is pertaining to whatever work or how I can make my day better or productivity better and all
Yeah.
of that. Uh, ठीक है, a few people have helped. For example, a simple universal law of 80-20 principle. It's like
What?
20%, you must have heard this 80-20
What,
principle.
what about it?
For example, if I put it out, there is a mathematical equation. I don't know if I'm true about this, but whatever the theory says, simple. Your closet, you only use 20% of your clothes for 80% of the events that you go to. Okay. And this law can be applied to everything you do. 20% of the work you're doing in the day is going to give you 80% of the result. Okay, this simply put that I don't have to be fucking slogging every fucking hour. Okay, when you know that you can reach that kind of productivity at that particular hour and all, then your day's work is done. And this I realized when I used to wake up at that whatever that period or that hour at 4 o'clock. खत्म मेरा काम खत्म हो गया 8 घंटे 8 o'clock a.m. I'm done cleaning myself, shitting myself, doing whatever I think was productive. I know exactly what I need to do throughout the day, and I'm done. I don't want to stress myself out about it.
Yeah.
You know.
Bro, this is exactly what I've been talking about the whole time. Um, it's it's literally what I believe. It's like how you wanna even like how I take up projects is based on that. Is I'm only gonna take the cream. It's called the cream. If you do the cream at the cream time of the only cream things you wanna do, then you will get the cream most with the easiest way to do it. But yeah, this you've hit the nail right the right spot, which is like the 80-20 is the exact one.
Imagine applying this to everything.
Yeah,
Ev-
fully. Yeah. I'm fully game for that because for me that works.
Some people call this laziness.
No, I would call it aptness because for the if I was not doing that, then I would be spending more time doing some bullshit work, which would get me rather demotivated and get me into 10% rather than like from 80% I would get only 10% because I was probably doing some more demotivating shit like
But do you
wasting.
think you've always been like this, or you have figured your way out, or your rhythm out?
I've had the opportunity to have the time and space in college to figure that out. Like the rhythm of work is something I wanted to proactively have before I leave college. I did not want to be someone who, after college, was trying to figure out what is my workflow. I wanted to always have it. So when I when I started only my work in third year, I was like, bro, मैं अभी से चालू करूँगा, I'm gonna figure out till fourth year. And since I had college, it was easy for me to just fall back into having no work because I always had some work. So that helped me build what kind of clients I pick up, what kind of job do I really do, what is my workflow with different clients, what is my workflow with different kind of deadlines. And it also gave my clients and my future clients a sense of how I work. And that has helped because not a lot of people do come up with me and be like, hey, designer, do this for me. When they come to my page, two things happen. They first see, oh my God, all this work is not just his work, it's also work with so many people. So they understand that I'm a hyper collaborative guy who's always working at different things. So they understand that that one sense is there. And the second thing, I don't know, someone told them, or I don't know where it comes from, is that they always promote me more than I've never even asked anyone to even go put my name or Instagram on it or anything like that. They've always done it out of their pure love of having me do something with them or for them. And that's something that has developed over time of how my clients have behaved with me before, have behaved on Instagram before. And that has also built a workflow that suits me. And college gave me the time to do
So
that.
so they did come over time, right? But you did kind of क्या बोलते हैं, trace your patterns and
Of course.
then like went what direction you thought was really this thing. So when you talk about collaboration, like did you actually start that from the very beginning, uh, or it was something that you really, it was just, it's fun to do it. So you get to learn a lot, and of course, you know, experiment a lot.
Mm, I usually don't collaborate with more people in a way that, like, I've had very select few people I really collaborate with because I have a really nice rapport with them, which is Anirudh, of course, my friend Jishnu, who's a school buddy of mine, and yeah, I mean, I think it's just these two people who I've collaborated with, and they are pretty. I need to have the rapport with them. I'm not someone who can allow a very I don't think I have a very open mind towards allowing a very different energy come in my space and then I'm gonna try to figure out, no, I need the energies to be tight. I need the energies to be in sync. Because if that is not something we have, then I know the project is gonna not gonna have the right result that I really can vision. And if I can't vision it, I'm not even doing it. My 20%, my cream. I'm not going to do something that I don't want to do. So it is a balance of all those things. So in terms of those kind of collaboration with other people for a certain project, it's very specific. But I really like experimenting with various kind of things that I can really do. Like somebody might need a website layout made. I've done that. Somebody might need a clothing line experiment with me. Okay, cool. Let's do that. And somebody might need a branding setup for a full restaurant or a tap room of sorts, and that's been happening. So, and like something like a Bill Gates Foundation, like that project was something that came out of nowhere. It was Anirudh's project, and he really wanted me on it. So it was great because that was a collaborative one, of course, with Anirudh, because Anirudh and I have cracked it. I after internship with him, after I was interning with him, I figured that we both have actually really similar ways of thinking apart from just the styles. And I know how to adapt into his style way faster. So whenever he can vision something, I'm the guy who can actually sit down and execute it for him. And that works great for us. And that's, I think that's also the reason why we have collaborated over so many things together, from Mixmag to typography brands to like a 3D Gates Foundation thing, which is so different. Like typography is completely different. A 2D animation is completely different. A 3D animation for a Gates Foundation corporate kind of project is very different. What underlies there is how easily it has been for Anirudh and I to have been in the same studio 4 hours and we know exactly what's happening. I don't even need to talk to him after that. It's done. The project gets done really fast. And that happens when you have the 20%, when you are so focused on getting the right guy, the right thing, and not focusing on, oh, the other person is good with
Getting,
typography, let me go with that. Yeah,
getting
you go. Yeah,
your energy is just wasted in finding the right thing, and just
don't need. Yeah,
you just need to find people who you, again, which has a very easy connection with everything.
it's a very human thing. It's instinct. If you can feel the other person's instinct with you matching, then it's gonna be good. And it's such a human element to find that out. You can't really find it out otherwise. If you were a robot, you wouldn't be able to tell.
Why are you so obsessed with robot? Do you really think you find half of the people around you a robot?
I really want robots around.
I think I think I would agree with you for that, because that would give humans a full access to being human.
We would be creative gods.
Yeah, exactly what I was coming. Yeah, that's why I think robots are doing us a favor by taking our jobs away. Because you should have been
Yeah,
doing something way early, but I guess you had to be kicked, you know.
the dude who does the Amazon delivery service could be a mad artist or a
Drones,
mad writer.
drones are doing this now, abhi delivery.
Let
What do
them
you think is
be.
going to happen now?
That's
Drones
exactly.
and autonomous vehicles are just going to come to your house. You freaking drop the parcel, and then it's done.
Tesla. Tesla is my number one favorite. Number
Tesla
one.
is doing it. Google cars are doing it. Waymo is doing it. There's so many other brands who are actually working. Waymo, I think, is only working on the software of the autonomous vehicle, which is again linked to Google. But I'm saying it's dude, we're living in the future, yeah, Sam. Listen to me. It's when they say, oh, the future is still ahead. I think the technology is moving so fast that that the inventions that we saw maybe 10 years back is going to be there in 5 years now.
Of course.
You know.
The span of new turnover time for a new technology to come up is reducing.
But do you think technology is actually supporting other uh, actually technology is applied everywhere, right? Not just I mean biotechnology, freaking 3D printing, slaying it in the kinds of products they're making. They made a freaking heart, a leaf beat, you know, they converted or transformed. I don't know how would I even say this, but a leaf was transformed into a heart or something, and
Yeah,
it was
that's when you have a robot mind, when you can see and feel that, okay, this texture will work, this layer will work. And it's such
this
a
this I think I would say biodesign or
yeah,
biotechnology is
yeah,
doing insanely, crazily.
like a great collaboration. Yeah, it's a great collaboration. I see some of our friends getting into this slowly, like some of our Shishti people. Yeah, I mean, dude, I've seen some friends of ours like create new textures and shit, and I was like, how the fuck did you sit and create new texture, you fucking alchemist? But I mean, they've been doing some sick projects, and I've been reading up also a lot on, not reading up more than hearing up, because I listen to a lot of podcasts, and this collaboration between nature and science and technology is crazy. I think that's what's going to get us to enlightenment and nirvana of paradise, when we have everything sorted for us to do, for us to not do rather.
Dude, I have always found such a fascination towards nature because I think that's the one thing that has been able to adapt till now
Mm.
in whatever given situations and know how to really balance it out. For example, COVID or whatever the hell you would call it. Dude,
Trees are not trees don't get COVID. No
dude,
animals
yeah,
get COVID.
like what? Like, but it has its way of giving it back to you. You know what I mean?
I guess. I mean, apart from that, for me, the way is such a simple way that nature is a proof of something way superior than you can understand.
Yeah.
Is if you look at any shell,
Shell.
yeah.
Why shell?
If you look at any shell and you try to understand its mathematics, okay, this happened to be on my first LSD trip last year in July. And I was looking at this shell, and what I realized was that, dude, this thing that is created out of waves, waves that are the most abrupt thing that you can imagine. Yeah, like waves and
Shells are created by waves.
water and water patterns and touching and touching. They're not made of waves, but the way waves affect a surface is what creates those patterns on the shells, right?
Shells to क्या बता इंसान shells are made by the organism, right? The animal, correct?
No, not all shells. I mean, like the flat ones I'm talking about, dude. The ones that have like it's like sediments of rocks and mineral and salt and whatnot, right? Those shells that are
Okay,
created by purely
okay,
waves settling a sediment on a certain thing.
okay. Yeah,
Now,
got
when you see a array of those shells, which are same, which are similar, which are created out of this water, which is the most odd form that you can't ever put a structure to. You can never put structure to water because it's so formless,
it. Yeah.
right? If that motherfucker can sit and create such an intricately similar design every single time, you have no clue if you're still calling water formless. You know what I'm saying? Nature is so superior that you can't ever really realize what's going on.
But have you ever imagined the intricate, intricity or like the intricate designs and the depth of details that the nature has?
Everything is so much more superior than you can imagine.
Just the fact that the atom within the atom also, I don't think we have yet discovered because we cannot split an atom and imagine there's something more to it.
You can split an atom, let me tell you. That was discovered in 1880s.
But okay, but do you know what forms an atom and how it is formed?
You can never.
Would you ever know why the tree is actually the way it is in its
No,
entirety? Sam, even if you live here for freaking 10,000 years, you still wouldn't be able to figure out what the fuck
you
is. No,
can't.
I'm not even talking about nature here. I'm talking about this whole thing in general. This whole thing.
Yeah, yeah, you can't. You can't figure it out.
I'm calling it a thing because there is so much to it. There's no word that could really uh,
You can't set it. You can't set it to any word to it. I would not do justice.
that could
It's true.
Interesting.
That is crazy.
Very, very interesting. This conversation has been very interesting, Sam. We've gone places. We've gone places and we've come back. This is out of context, but I'm going to ask you this. Um, would you say you're spiritual?
No,
No?
no.
So, what is nirvana? What is spirit?
Spiritual is to so the thing is like how we have always defined these terms, that is kind of the time I took to answer this. If I have to say I'm spiritual to myself, then yes. But am I spiritual to something else, or if there is an alliance to some other kind of spirituality, then no. But if it's a
I'm not talking
spirituality that's
about religion.
no, I know. But even in spirituality, there is a way of the universe, oh, the this, or the whatever, you name it. If there's an alliance to anything of the whatever, then I have nothing to do with it. But if I have to purely look at how I treat my mind and how I treat my body, then yes, I'm spiritual to myself.
To you and yourself, but do you forget that you are a part of this even if you don't want to be? Or are you a part of it? Because I think all of this is a whole, and mm, I don't, I don't think anything over here is disconnected.
No, my spirituality stops at myself. It doesn't mean that I don't realize that everybody else is also moving with me.
I'm
Or
not talking about
maybe
it. Yeah, yeah, okay, okay, fine.
that works. That's going on. The same way when you ask me about this thing that, oh, if you mean to say you are experimenting and others are not experimenting, the job guys, does that not mean it's okay? It's okay. उसको जो करना है करे ना.
No,
The
it's
thing
not.
is that
It's about
spirituality bit.
being okay,
Like,
but it's about the getting the perspective, man, Sam. It's not about right or wrong over here.
no, of
It's
course. I've
not
realized that
right or
more
wrong.
and more. The more I've been with my girlfriend, I've realized that more as to how many ways one can look at a certain thing, and then like how earlier, like the thing is that my transition from the last girlfriend and then the 2 year break that I had, and then to understand the completely new version of Samresh with my current girlfriend is is something that has been the most experimental thing I have ever done, which is actually really sit down, give a fuck. And that has been a sort of understanding of how other people, other systems work, how many more ways there are to detach yourself while being attached to someone, because there are a lot of false attachments we try to add. And that's where I feel, where if my spirituality stops at myself, it is probably better because of the same self-help. No, it's what helped me. It can always, like, whatever I feel and whatever I've seen is always subject to what I know and I can understand. I have to leave myself, my spirituality, to understand someone else's self and their spirituality. It has to be individualistic to them. And that's why I feel everybody's spirituality stop there. And the moment they start thinking about the other person, it needs to come from the other person's perspective first, and then try to see where what matches. Do you feel me?
I got that. But explain me this. When, when as strangers, you tend to connect so well, even if there is absolutely no connection whatsoever. So, what would you say to that?
you connect to someone who's a stranger who you've never seen, no one, nothing like that.
Yeah, like connect, be it a person or be it anything else. What would you say to that? जब तू बोलता है कि स्पिरिचुअलिटी सिर्फ अपने तक ही रहना चाहिए, ठीक है, then because it's again very different and unique to individuals. Of course, we are like fingerprints. We are all unique. But then it's again a part of something, right? So when you say I could relate to something, right? What would that be? I mean, there's still a connection, but do you think um, being individual to yourself is helping you or would help anyone um, have this line between attachment and detachment?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tricky one because
You know,
how
there's always
much of,
a contradictory statement to everything in this world.
of, of course.
Like there's a
And
black and
I think that's the kind of dilemma slash spot we're in with this question, which is I can say one thing and then immediately think about the other side of it and be like, no, but that. But if I had to answer this in one simple way, is either it's instinct, which is a mysterious human element, or it is
really mysterious, Sam.
hmm?
Is
Hmm?
it really mysterious?
Instinct is mysterious. It is
I don't think so.
when it. I think it's pretty mysterious because you can't really put logic to what you have as an
See,
instinctive
there are so
feeling.
many. No, 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 no. I'll tell you.
Intuitive feeling. Yeah.
You call it intuition or you call it something else. I'm
Yeah.
saying uh, I disagree because I just hope I don't forget what the fuck I'm going to say because this has gone too deep. Um, uh, you know, firstly, realize that human structure is very complex. Okay.
Of course.
And one of the things that I've realized is that we have various kinds of memories, and we have various kinds of intelligence, and we have, for example, when I say memory, it can be something that I have realized or remembered through my experience, okay, through space and time, and or it can also be a DNA memory because a DNA also carries, now you are carrying a genes of whatever your
Yeah.
ancestors,
Well,
so,
I get that, but
right? So wait,
uh,
I'm not yet finished it. So then there is intelligence also. There is intellectual, then there is apart from intellectual, when you say it's everything cannot be questioned logically because there's something called emotional intelligence. So I'm saying there are different kinds of intelligence in your freaking brain. Okay.
yeah,
But how am I connecting this to whatever you had to say is how is intuition uh like kind of
mysterious.
yeah, mysterious? I don't think so because I don't believe that there are accidents.
It's all calculated, and there is some sense to something that has come from somewhere. Of course, you mean to
It's
say, right?
subconscious. It's subconscious, and there's so
One more.
much, so
You might.
much. Okay,
Yeah, I.
where
I
where you think that it's oh my God, you're so lucky, and lucky is something is the
it
is
does
the
not.
most idiotic, or I would say the most stupidest term. And I have realized that I also kind of believed it to be true for a very long time. And
There are
I
a lot
believe,
of people easy and call as
God,
well.
you're so lucky. You must be
It's
so
like
lucky. Nah.
me lucky motherfucker.
I'm just like, what
It's
is luck?
almost
Could
it's
you
almost
define
like
luck for me? Like, the fuck?
it's a word lazy people developed for people they were jealous of.
Man, listen, I think the people, that's jealous people. Like, that's not lazy people. Lazy, I think, is Is again, dude, I like lazy people because they have a knack to really, um, you know, find clever solutions
That's one aspect of them.
to escape. And I think ignorance is way worse, Sam. When you talk
Lauren,
ignorance, ignorant.
ignorance. Of course, ignorance is crazy words.
Ignorance is, I think, way more crazier than
100%. Ignorance is the worst thing of all. Of all, it's something I have personally always
I've
felt.
slapped myself with that so many times.
Hmm?
And I've slapped myself with that word so many times. And I think I finally
And you
realized
because the moment you think you're not, you are probably at that stage.
probably are.
If you think that you're ignorant, then you
You
probably are.
yes, you know that you're being stupid. You know that, right? And yet you are,
You
or you just can't help. What?
know the truth. Always. It comes down to the same question. You know you can't lie from yourself.
Or maybe you just want to have it your way, and that's why you just like.
There you can try having it how much ever your way is, but if you know what's happening in your head, you know what's happening in your head. You're not gonna run away from it.
Yeah, that cannot be ignored. Sure.
Your ignorance can't get run away from anything. You're gonna have to go through it. You're gonna have to either learn or you're gonna have to keep knowing the fact that you're still stupid. It's like you live with it.
But acknowledging that you're stupid again kind of tells you that you are a little more sensible and sensitive. Okay.
Yeah. You're
And
ignorant to another.
unlike someone who, yeah, unlike someone who is going to tell you that you're stupid and you're just like, no, bitch, I'm not.
No, which I'm not. Like you're in denial, motherfucker. You are not able to assess the situation.
No
It's
when.
crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Bitches be crazy.
No, we all are. We all are. Um,
Everybody in my world.
I was surprised to see a normal person. Like I don't think there's anything normal. There is nothing.
I think I've heard from
There's no normal. Okay.
you your line.
And
Yeah.
I saw COVID kind of take the cake. Like,
Yeah.
dude, COVID, would you ever imagine that there's something, this virus, and like, you must have imagined it in movies, or you must have imagined it happening in freaking game where you're supposed to, like, shelter yourself and all of that. Like, who knew that this was actually going to break out? And
Bro. Do you have any other questions you need to finish off?
as of now, nahi hai, but I'll just, you know what, like, this has been very interesting. I don't want to, like, stick to the concept or anything. There has been a lot of interesting conversations.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to, like, compile them together and see what we get. Because
Cool.
we've gone places, as I said. So
Please.
we can take people places.
That was excited to see what
I'm
comes out.
serious. I'm serious. Like,
Cool.
this is fun.
Sure. Bye.
Peace. Bye, Sam.
See you, bro. Just put up everything.
Sam. Dude, I was just thinking between, I was like, dude, should I edit it or should I not edit it?